So we had a keynote speaker at Career Connectors today that talked about you've lost your job, now what? And I want to go through some of her key tips. She had very actionable and immediate steps to take when you've lost your job. First of all, get organized. That means the number one priority should be applying for unemployment. Now, every state has different requirements there, but right now, because of the coronavirus, there are laws in place to get an extra $600 a week for unemployment, and also you can get retro pay in many situations. And so even if you didn't apply originally, go out and apply now. That $600 a week is good through July 25th. And so go apply. Second of all, take an inventory of your skills, abilities, experience. Like a lot of times when we get laid off, it can be frustrating and self-defeating. And so what you want to do is be able to list out those things that you've done well. Remind yourself that you're gifted, you're talented, you have really good experiences, and somebody would be honored to have you working for them. So make a list of that. Also, craft a list of your network. Your network is so important in career transition, and you want to be connecting with people. So create a list of your network. This could be colleagues, previous employers, that can be friends, family, people that you have hobbies with, your kids' parents, parents of kids that are of your kids' friends. So there's a lot of different ways to create a network. So write your list of network down. Also write down your list of target companies. You should be on the lookout. After you create that list, you should be on the lookout for those companies when they post jobs, getting to know people within that company. It's a great way to job search. That's the proactive way of job searching. Then, number 2 is craft an elevator speech. Now, that can be really uncomfortable and feel odd and awkward, but what that really is figuring out within 15 to 30 seconds how to tell someone the situation you're in. A little bit about your background, a little bit about your professional background, your current situation, maybe you were laid off due to COVID, and then what you're looking for, what kind of companies you'd like to work for, what industry, what job titles you're interested in. And when you craft that, it helps people be able to connect you better and get to know you quickly. Don't draw it out for 5 minutes, 15, 30 seconds. Have something when someone says, so tell me about yourself, what are you looking for? Have a response to that prepared. Number 3, take some type of self-assessment. There's a couple different things you need to look at when you take a self-assessment. First of all, what are your priorities? What type of career you're looking for? If you want to work from home in your next career, then target companies that allow that to happen, which is obviously a lot more open right now. If you want to work at a company that's within 15 miles of your home, that's something to think about. That's something important to think about. You don't want to be driving an hour and a half to work every day. Think about those type of things. Take a look at your social media. What is your social media saying about you? Now, I have had so many candidates never hired because of their social media. Not necessarily that their social media was even bad. It just had said some things that maybe the company didn't want them representative of their brand. Maybe you're into politics, but maybe you want to pull it back for a while if you're job searching. Anything kind of difficult, or if you're taking a hard stand on something, just think about how that will come off to the employer, because guess what? Employers can see this stuff. All they got to do is search your name, just search your name on Google, and oftentimes our Facebook profile comes up, our LinkedIn, our Instagram, and so take a look at that, take that inventory. Also, do you have a mentor? If you don't have a mentor, get one, start talking to a couple people. Find someone that's in the industry and which you want to work, and see if you can have a conversation with them. Naomi today said something really interesting, speaking of social media. She said, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. And so just think about that as you're posting and having conversations on social media right now. The 4th thing to look at is, what does your resume look like? And along with that, do you have a portfolio? And so with your resume, it needs to be very accomplishment driven. It needs to also be very professional. Ask some people for their guidance as far as looking at format and grammar. But really hire a professional if you want a professional. Career Connectors can give you free free consultation with a professional, but to have somebody really dive in and redo your resume, that does take an investment. So think about that. Do you need a professional? Would it help you get through the applicant tracking systems? Then a portfolio. A portfolio is things like reference letters from previous employers, letters of recommendation, examples of your work. If you're in the creative space, that's really important. Have some examples of your work there. News articles, have you won awards? Put in those awards. Any kind of assessments you've taken, Career Connectors gives out a free DISC assessment, so that can be one. Any other kind of assessments, you can throw those in there. Then when you go on an interview, you can show that to them when they ask for an example, or as part of your interview, you can pull those things out. So I challenge you today, because we know that relationships are so important, and it's difficult right now to connect with people, but I challenge you to go out and make 10 new connections this week. Make 10 connections in your job search. Maybe it's on LinkedIn, maybe it's a friend of a friend, but make 10 new connections. You will be surprised at how far that gets you. Hang in there. Love y'all. Bye-bye.